ಯಾರು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಹೆಡ್ಫೋನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ.
Each sunrise has a secret to tell you. Never give up. Feel the breeze and flash of light to illuminate your inner self. With this beautiful quote, let me begin this beautiful session of our today's webinar and illuminate ourselves to go ahead with. Yes. Target the moon. Even if you miss, you will at least reach the stars. And that is what we are going to do today. Alright. Yes. In this pandemic situation of COVID 19, we have literally gone through many changes. And one big change that we have gone through and accepted is virtuality. So it has been a great experience for all of us to go ahead with our classes and other educational things through online. Now, the best way to predict the future is to create it, which is said by Abraham Lincoln, is what we are going to experience today. So as we all know that we are here to begin our webinar today and we are listening to one such prominent personality who is going to really illuminate your inner self. Let me not take much of time and let us start with the session soon. Hence, to get introduced to this personality, I would now like to hand over the charge to our dear beloved principal, Dr. H. Kumar, to come here and introduce the guest. I hope and I really wish that you will really learn and enjoy the following session. Have a nice time. Please go ahead and listen to Sir. Thank you.
Yes, madam. Very good morning to one and all present here. Dear friends, madam, as you mentioned, will definitely reach the moon with the cooperation of all my colleagues. Will definitely go and shine in the moon. Today is one of the best day and the day which we can flourish and cherish in our days to come. Dear friends, today is the day on which we'll be witnessing a beautiful program. The program is to start our career well early. Now, here I would like to take the names of the people. Geetanjali Rao, a Mangalore based Indian origin girl born and brought up in the US, who is in Denver, Colorado. At the age of 11, she has developed a system which can assess and find out the percentage of lead in water. Remember, at the age of 11, she did it. Another person, that is Tanmay Bakshi, at the age of 5, he is a Indian origin boy based in Canada. At the age of 5, he developed passion towards the technology, and then he started YouTube channel, and the channel name is Tell My Teachers. Mind you, a 5-year-old boy is starting the YouTube channel telling Tell My Teachers. That itself will tell the confidence level and the stage at which he started his passion. He has found out his passion early at the age of 5. And I would like to quote another gentleman, D.A. Balaji of Tumkur. He is basically from Madhugiri district, Madhugiri Taluk. In the 10th standard, he got 90% marks. And after that, he did not choose science stream, rather, he has chosen arts stream. The very reason for that is he has realized what he wants to become at the age of 15 itself. He realized that he wants to become a person in Indian Administrative Service. He cleared IAS exam, UPSC examination, and got into the service, that is a DK Balaji. He has pursued his passion at a very early age. Another person is a Kempa Honnaya. Basically, he is a blind guy. When he was 4 year old, till 4 year old, he was a normal person like each one of us. When he was in fourth standard, he lost his vision. He has become 100% blind. Then did his MA. After doing his MA, then one fine day, one lady triggered his passion, the passion which was hidden in his mind. He wanted to become a IAS officer. He pursued, wrote UPSC examination by taking Kannada as a major language, major subject, and cleared with the 348th rank. And now he is an IAS officer in Indian services. Roman Saini. I hope you are all know about Roman Saini. Now he is just a 30-year-old person. When he was a student at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, he completed NEET and got into AIMS and completed his medical service, medical. And after that, when he was doing his house surgery, he got a passion. He got love towards Indian Administrative Service. He cleared UPSC examination and got into it. And when he was in training at a Dehradun, during the IAS preparations, what he used to do is he used to upload the preparatory YouTubes into the YouTube channel, and that has got wonderful followers, and that led to a beautiful vision. Then what he did is during his training itself, he quit the position and started an academy at Bangalore. It is a Bangalore-based company along with other two persons, Gaurav Mundal and Himesh Singh. He started this here in Bangalore. In 2015, it has started, and now it is $1.45 billion company. Then Elon Musk, at the age of 12, he has developed a software, games rather. He has developed a games and sold it to PC Magazine, and PC Magazine given him a $500. And from that, now he has developed SpaceX. He has a plan to start a colony in Mars, and now, in fact, he is selling the sites at Mars. He is a realtor for Mars, and also. He is the person who has developed Hyperloop technology. I hope all of you are familiar with Hyperloop technology. In this Hyperloop technology, we can reach Bangalore airport from Majestic in 10 minutes. And that was done early in the stages. In the year 1916, 7 rishis in Belgaum, in North Karnataka, Sapta rishis, we fondly with devotion, we remember them as Sapta Rishis. 105 years back, Sapta Rishis made a scripture in Belgaum and started a school, and that school has spread to 280 plus college institutions all across southern India and also in the rest of the world, and made it as Karnataka Lingayata Education Society. Now, under the dynamic leadership of Sir Prabhakar Kore, this institution is flourishing and surging ahead for the next generation. The next generation has to realize what it is. Now, here in the year 1963, Nijalingappa College has started in the west, while Rajaji Nagara of Bengaluru, the Kampegowda of Bengaluru, has started this Bengaluru, and here our Saptarishis made a beginning here at Bangalore. One of the Saptarishi has made a beginning here at Bangalore Rajaji Nagara and started Nijilingappa Institute. Dear friends, today we are having a beautiful day. The beautiful day is for the motivation for the early career beginning, the early preparations of our life. What is need to be done is we have to prepare ourselves well early in our services, in our life. If you prepare very much well and early, and definitely we can flourish. And in this regard, we are having a beautiful day. And today is a special day, and that special day is will be the special webinar by a special personality. The webinar is early preparation leads to success, a career perspective for school and college students. This will be delivered by one of the well-known personality of India, the former DGP of Karnataka State Police, Karnataka State, Dr. S. Krishnamurthy. Sir has earned three doctoral degrees to his credit. This person, this gentleman, has three PhD degrees to his credit. The first LLD degree has been conferred to him by the National Law School, and that is the credit we have. And the gentleman is S. Krishnamurthy. And this gentleman is a 1967 cadre IPS officer. And this IPS officer is having a vast experience. The vast experience is, you can see it in front of your monitor. The monitor is showing that this is the gentleman, Dr. S. Krishnamurthy. On behalf of all my colleagues, I heartily welcome Sir Dr. S. Krishnamurthy. And before that, I will introduce him to all of you, his qualities and what are his attributes. Let me tell you about him. Sir is 1967 IPS officer of Karnataka Cadre, and he is a director. He was a director general of police, and he was IGP planning, and he was also a principal of Karnataka Police Academy, and he has earned three doctoral degree. And he has earned first a degree LLD from National Law School on the subject human rights in penal processes in the year 1994. He was awarded Eisenhower Fellowship, and also he is an expert, Commonwealth experts on human rights. He has been consulted on many occasions. He has trained many police personnel all across the globe, especially in the African region. Right, he has well-known personality, and also he has published a photo book on mounted police, and this is about the amazing camels, cavalry, and canines. And he is an equestrian. He has a well-known equestrian of the state, has won medals in national games, and he is a well-known personality in India. The Sir has conferred most outstanding legal research for the year 1997 by Calcutta University. He is a wonderful tennis player. Now his age is 78. Even at this age, he is a vibrant player and won gold medals in veterans World Police Games held in China. That was last year, mind you. He is 77. At the age of 77, he has won gold medal. That speaks for his fitness, and being an IPS officer, he is well-known personality in it, and that is one face of it. Another face of it is a well-known documentary filmmaker. He's a well-known documentary filmmaker, and he has this movie and documentary on mounted police of Karnataka has won silver medal in Barcelona, Spain, and is a wonderful singer, music composer on various themes. It is not just on the police; it is on every aspects, from the environment to the life. He has composed music. He has authored 34 books, of 25 in English, 18 in Kannada, and one in Hindi. and at present is a vice president of Indian Red Cross Society of Karnataka branch, and currently is an advocate at High Court of Karnataka. This Dr. S. Krishnamurthy, and the subject is uh, early preparation leads to success. I heartily welcome Professor Rajakoti for this first co-curricular event of this year 2021. So I welcome Professor Shivanagoda sir, Shivangoda Patil sir of Kannada department, and also thank him for having introduced this great personality, Dr. S. Krishnamurthy, to our institute. Through him, we got him here. Right? Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Sri Shivanagoda sir, and to all my colleagues. Welcome you all, my colleagues and my dear students. Definitely, this will be a very, very vibrant program, and this is the first program of this college, and you will definitely like him, and you will enjoy this webinar. And let us throw light on the success. What will be the early preparation that you need to prepare, and how best you can prepare for yourself and excel in your career. A career perspective for school and college students, and through the early preparation that can lead to the success. And this is the overlook of Dr. S. Krishnamurthy. This is his achievement. He is well known. He earned a degree from back Karnataka, Kannada Vishwavidyalaya, the Mysore University, National Law School, and these are his affiliations. He has affiliated to National Police Academy, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy, Hyderabad, Karnataka Police Academy, Karnataka, and he is an Eisenhower Fellowship awardee, and also he was a registrar of Bangalore University. He has won award from Calcutta University, and he is a Commonwealth expert on human rights, and he was also director of information and broadcasting department of Karnataka, and also KSTDC director. And then he has a lot of concern for our environment. I heartily welcome Dr. S. Krishnamurthy sir. It is our pleasure to have you, sir. Please, our students are eagerly waiting for you, sir. Please, with folded hands, I request you to address my colleagues, my students. Thank you, sir. Please welcome, sir.
Within 2 minutes, sir will be talking to you people.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning to all the people who are participating in this webinar, and also the people who are connected with this very interesting event, which is relevant to the young minds of this institution and also others who are participating. I am indeed thankful to the chairman of the KLE Society and to Dr. Kumar and others who had made this opportunity available to me so that I could come over to this institution and spend few joyous moments with all of you. I am sure that when we look at young children, most parents would want their children to succeed in life. Of course, there is always a question, what is success? Success is a relative proposition. For a small child, which is just about a year, walking without any support is itself a success. For persons who are trying to learn a game, playing that game well is a success. So the life itself is a big panorama where hundreds of events take place. But more importantly, most human beings would like to accomplish in their life something close to their heart, and also to see that they're able to make a meaningful existence. From that context, the idea of preparation to a good future becomes extremely important. When you look at the title of this webinar, it says early preparation and success. What is preparation becomes absolutely paramount for us to understand so that we are able to make use of that perception in a really meaningful way. Early, what is early? We need to be ready for a coming tomorrow. That is the sense of being early. It is to be at the right time. It is just like saying that if you want a child to progress well, it has to take steps that are essential for its passage. Coming to the school, going to the higher secondary education, attending to the college, getting a degree, becoming eligible for any kind of avocation in the career or in the future. All these are individual steps. And for each step, there is a logical and a well measured idea as to how you should approach that. And that is the concept of preparation. As I mentioned, the term success is relative. For a person who has raised a lovely garden, seeing lovely flowers blooming is itself a success. For a person who is composing a song, or a person who is singing a song, doing it very effectively, doing it competently, doing it purposefully itself is a success. But as human beings, most of us look at something, some kind of an activity which will become your profession or your career. There are many people who choose different avocations depending upon what is their aptitude, what is their capacity, what is their interest, what is that they want to do. All these things become actually absolutely important. Yet we need to motivate, inspire, and facilitate young minds because young minds are extremely impressionable. And I would like to state that the current day young children are much, much superior to us people of the earlier generations. Of course, I myself find that we were in the early 50s of previous century. We thought that we are knowing more than our parents. And our parents would say, what do you mean by telling that? But that is the truth. I would like to say the present day children are extremely intelligent, extremely capable, definitely aware, awake, and at the same time, they have that potential which has to be focused. It is just like saying, even when you look at what is known as the laser, light amplification of simulated electronic radiation, it is just a ray of light. But if it is focused so sharply that it can cut through steel, that gives an idea that there is a need for you to focus as to what you should be doing, what you should be sort of taking care in your life to see that you succeed in a very meaningful way. That requires various other components in your activity to prepare. In doing that, I did mention the term early. Early is a relative term. It depends upon the activity which you are doing. But one thing you must understand that time, or what when you look at a clock ticking, one thing is extremely important for you to realize that time is ticking relentlessly. Time is the only thing that cannot be reversed. Even the gods cannot reverse the time. The moment that is gone forever. I think if you read either mythology or philosophy or any subject, it is very clearly understood by the entire world that time is extremely precious. It is very valuable because once it is lost forever. There is a saying in Kannada, ಹಗಲಿರುಳಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ದಿನಗಳು ಉರುಳಿ ವಾರಗಳಾಗಿ ಸರದಿಯ ಸರಣಿಯ ತಪಸರದಂತಹ ಪಾಕ್ಷಿಕವಾಗುತ್ತ ಮಾಹೆಗಳಾಗುತ್ತ ಋತುಗಳು ಸಾಗುತ್ತ ವರುಷವೇ ಹೋಗುತ್ತ ಶತಮಾನವೇ ಸಂದರು ಒಂದೇ ಹಾದಿಯ ಸಂಚಾರ ಆಡೆ ತಡೆ ಅರಿಯದ ಅಯನವ ಮರೆಯದ ಕಾಲನಿ ಜಗಕಲ ಸರದಾರ. What it means is that you just cannot afford to lose time. You cannot waste the time. You cannot squander time. So you must understand that when you are looking at future, you must know that time is extremely important so that you don't waste that time. That is the spirit with which you should approach your problem, your goal. There is a saying that if wealth is lost, it can be regained. If position is lost, it can be won back. But if time is lost, it is also lost forever. It's also said that character cannot be regained because character is like a mirror. If a stone falls on it and makes a dent, it is permanent. Therefore, you should be extremely careful in whatever you are doing to see that you don't destroy what is available for you. Preparation is an activity to accomplish a goal. I did mention that the term early, the term success, or the preparation, each one of them are relative to one another. From out of all these things, you can say that competitive challenges are confronting you in your life. One thing you must understand that we are living in a country which is having a population of 123 crores. Awesome number of people are there. And therefore, it becomes extremely important for you to understand that wherever you go, you find people. So, if you want to distinguish yourself or if you want to accomplish something, you have to be excellent in whatever you are planning to do, whatever you are visualizing to do. So, therefore, the whole concept of success depends upon your ability to do things well, do things correctly, and do things appropriately. A very interesting statement by Abraham Lincoln signifies what is this the pith and substance of the concept of preparation. He said, give me 6 hours to cut a tree. I will spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. What he says is that keeping your mind alive, alert, and sharp is most important. And also, I can tell another story of a king who employed a woodcutter to cut some trees. So, first day when he cut the trees, he was able to cut 15 trees. And that went on for some time. And after that, the number of trees he was cutting was reduced. It became 10, it became 8. And this fellow said, I am doing the same amount of work, but I am not able to cut trees. Then the king asked him, are you sharpening your axe? What it means that your mind is like an axe. It has to be kept sharp. It has to be kept alive. It has to be kept fit for its work. It is very necessary that we have to struggle to keep our mind sharp. I think, we are also passing through what is known as the COVID era, where so much of stress is there. And I think, practically each one of us have learned in the last 7 or 8 months how to stay at home, how to take care of our own health, how to take precaution, how to ensure that you don't get infected by this virus. That itself is an indication to say that how you prepare yourself. Because basically, any activity in life calls for preparation. Right from the moment you wake up, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you straighten up your dress, you fold your bed and bed sheet, etc., and then come down and have a cup of coffee. That means that you are preparing. And I'm sure that each one of you would have known that an activity like a marriage in your house, so many activities have to go on. It becomes absolutely necessary for you to make sure that every step that is necessary for you to succeed is well thought out, well planned, and then see that it is accomplished well. There are many anecdotes, many statements about preparation. I would like to mention some of them. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. There are no secrets of success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning. Another great person said, I don't believe in luck, I believe in preparation. Prepare for success. If you don't, you will be forced to lead a life of mediocrity. Best preparation for tomorrow is the right use of today. I did tell you, time is very valuable. What you do today or what you do in the coming event, depending upon the target which you are looking at, it becomes extremely important. Our confidence comes only from our preparation. That is very important. Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. That is the point which you must keep in mind. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. Of course, if you look at the whole gamut of life, opportunities keep beckoning you, but you should be ready for that. In doing that, what is necessary is to understand what is your goal, what is that you are seeking in life, or what is that you want to become. Based on that, if you plan your activities, chances are that you will succeed. Preparation is what you do at or the time you spend to get ready for a life of success and meaningful life in future. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. This is a very good statement which says that if you don't prepare well, naturally the result of your effort will be very poor in quality. Suppose you want to appear for an examination or if you want to do something good, if your preparation is good, the quality of your output will be definitely superior. Examples can be seen from practically all walks of life in science, art, culture, literature, music, sports, and so on. In each one of them, it is the preparation that is the gist of success. It is the pith and substance of moving forward. I am sure that you would have heard of a great name called Beethoven. Beethoven was a great musician of Europe. But the problem with him was that he was unable to hear clearly. But he was producing music, who is considered the master of music across the entire globe. And he used to play piano in such a wonderful style. And people used to be mesmerized listening to his piano music. Of course, he had composed a good range of musical notes. And one lady came and blessed him. And that lady told Beethoven, you are so wonderfully playing music. I am so much impressed. I would like to say that God has blessed you with this musical genius. So Beethoven replied, I don't know about God blessing me, but I would like to say that anybody who practices music for 15 hours a day for 8 years should be able to play like this. Of course, it's a noble statement by him to say that practice. And I had a personal example of listening to Mr. Bhimsen Joshi. Mr. Bhimsen Joshi is a doyen of classical music in India, and he is considered a symbol of the uh, very embodiment of music. And some 8 years ago, I had gone to Chowdia Memorial Hall to listen to his music. And after music was over, he was 82 at the time, mind you. So he was sitting, and some 8, 9 people who had organized the music show, and I was also present. And then everybody was talking and telling him that music was great. And suddenly somebody mentioned that you made that Purva Kalyan Rag narration. It was very good. Then Bhimsen Joshi said, no, 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 I am not happy. I used to practice for 6 hours. Now, since last 2, 3 months, my practice time has come down to 4 hours. I mean, we were stunned by, he is the very, he's like a goddess Saraswati. He was the god of music. But he himself felt music has to be practiced. What I'm trying to say is that you need to prepare. Practice is the key, or preparation is the key which enables you to practice well. In sports, you take any sport. I think in India most people are fascinated by the game of cricket. You see the top sportsmen who play for India. All of them are extremely fit, but they do sacrifice for that. They do work hard for that. They are relentlessly practicing, and every time you find that the match is lost, you will find that they are back to the nets to practice. It only says that that preparation is most key to that. Practice, 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 or alternatively, prepare, prepare, prepare. If you have to perform, you have to practice well. You want to excel, your practice or your preparation has to be excellent. Prepare yourself for your own life, which ought to be full of meaning, creativity, and fulfillment. Life worthy of living. You want to seek success in your future. Of course, today's topic is in relation to the UPSC examination, but I would like to slightly broaden the horizon to say that life can be accomplished in 100 ways. It is not only essential that you only look at the civil service, but look at the life, at the very embodiment of life as to what you can do to achieve, to actualize yourself, to lead a meaningful life, to lead a worthy life. These are all the issues that you need to look at. You look at yourself. It is possible. What you would like to be in the coming years or in the next 2, 3 decades, what you would like to do in future, what your parents suggest to you, and what you can do to see that the goal that you choose, in fact, it is important that you choose the goal. Of course, normally what happens in the Indian society is that the parents tell that you do this or you do that. Yes, if it is suiting you, it's okay, you can do that. I remember when I was a young college student, my parents used to say that you must do engineering. In those days, it was a great fascination that you must do engineering. But somehow I was not particularly keen, and I used to tell all kinds of stories that I could not get a seat or I could not do this. And of course, in those days, even what was known as LCE, the engineering course, was there. I could not take it because I was not much impressed by engineering. Of course, I chose law as a career, and before I could go to the practice area of an advocate, I joined the IPS, and I was quite happy with that. And subsequently, now I am doing what I wanted to do long years ago. In this preparation, what you need to do is to identify what is your goal and then work towards that one. When you are looking at life, there will be hundreds of obstacles. There is hardly any life which does not have problems. They said that every human being has problem of his own. There is a very interesting statement in Kannada. "ಅಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಅರಿವೆ ಚಿಂತೆ, ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಚಿಂತೆ." So everybody has got problem. But at the same time, persistence, ability to focus helps you to come out of that. You might have heard of the stories of Demosthenes. Demosthenes was considered the greatest orator the world has ever seen. He was born in a place called Attica in Greece, and he lost a lot of property because many of his relatives knocked off his father's property. He wanted to go to the court to argue that matter, but he didn't know how to do it. And another big problem Demosthenes had was that he was stammering. He could not speak two sentences clearly. He would stammer, and everybody would laugh at him that he can't speak. So what Demosthenes did, his house was very close to the seashore. He used to go to the seashore and put a pebble in his mouth and try to speak. And after 7 or 8 years of hard practice, he became extremely capable of argument, and he is still considered one of the best orators. And he could write speeches for many other kings, etc. And there are many nice ideas about how Demosthenes became a greatest orator. Similarly, I am sure that you would have heard of what is known as the Battle of Sparta. It is called the Battle of Thermopylae. In history, it is recorded the greatest battle that was ever played or ever fought. It was in Sparta, where 300 people faced an army of 5,000 people, and all the 300 people died. Leonidas was their king, and there is a statue of Leonidas in Greece to commemorate that hero. And I'm recently some two films had also come, and to make this 300, the American company took 7 years to make that film. And of course, it's a very popular film, and I'm sure that many people can see it in Netflix and other places. It's interesting. What I'm saying is, those 300 people were determined to the core to sacrifice their life. It requires great courage to do that and great determination. And even to this day, people say he is leading a Spartan life. That means that he is leading an extremely disciplined life. It calls for great sacrifice. It calls for great persistence. It calls for great determination. So that is what is needed when you are looking at it. Hundreds of stories of hard work. Every day you open the newspaper, if you are able to spot an item, you will be able to see that hundreds of people are accomplishing various goals in different walks of life. It only goes to highlight one aspect that they are persisting in doing that. So, if you want to look at life and succeed in whatever area or whatever goal that you want to accomplish, that persistence is absolutely important. Your strategy must be well evolved. I think you might have heard of what is known as the PERT chart. I know. I'm sure that even 10th and 12th standard students are told what is the PERT chart. PERT chart is nothing other than what the American Navy had evolved in the year 1950 to launch their Polaris missiles. They had identified that there are over 100 jobs which have to be done to see that the missile is launched. How to accomplish this launching within the shortest possible time was the perfect job. Even now, any company or any big organization which wants to do hundreds of different activities and focus them towards the goal, this PERT chart is made. In the same way, you need to look at how you can accomplish the goal by planning it right from the beginning stage. This is how you look at your future and see what are the preparatory items that you need to do to equip yourself to succeed in the challenges of life. It has to be in that level. It has to be goal oriented. It has to be realistic. It is necessary that you should identify what is your strength, what are your weaknesses in terms of your own physical personality. What I mean, I think the principal very beautifully narrated the story of a blind man succeeding. It only goes to show that he must be conscious that he is not able to see. So he is able to sharpen his other resources with him to see that he succeeds. You look at any successful person, you will see one common trait, that is that his determination and his understanding of his own capacity and to pursue that goal. It is creative, it is meaningful, and it is a healthy way of moving towards. In focusing a goal, I am sure that you might have heard of the story of Arjuna winning the hands of Draupadi by shooting a bow and arrow known as the Matsya Yantra. That means a fish is revolving around and you have to shoot at the fish and at the eye of the fish. So it seems when Arjuna took aim, his Dronacharya asked him, "What is that you are seeing?" So Arjuna said, "I see nothing other than the eyes." Of course, somebody else said, "I am seeing the fish, I am seeing its tail, I am seeing its mouth, I am seeing the background." That is not focus. What Arjuna did is the focus. That means that you must be sharpened in your own approach to see what is that you want to do. In order to focus, there is what is known as the habit. Habit is a wonderful word in the English language. It has got five letters HABIT. If you remove H, a bit remains. If you remove A, bit remains. If you remove B, it remains. That means if you develop a good habit, chances are that it will stay with you to help you to overcome the overcome the constraints or overcome the difficulties. You must be aware of your own existence. Because your conscience is the guide. And I am told of the Kanakadasa story. Kanakadasa, I am sure that those who have gone to Udupi knows that he made God to turn around to give darshan to him. Though the philosophical part or the religious part we can leave out. But there is one thing which is very exclusive to the story of Kanakadasa. So the teacher told Kanakadasa and also other student, "Here is a banana. Please go and eat banana, but the only condition I have is that nobody should see it." So somebody went below a cart, somebody put a cloth over his head, somebody hid himself, somebody got onto the tree, and everybody ate banana, but Kanakadasa could not eat. He came back and told the teacher that I could not eat because I thought God was watching me. So I could not be alone. Of course, what God is your conscience. Because your conscience is such an amazing thing. Whatever you do, your conscience is always there. It tells you whether it is right or wrong. Only thing is, you must, if you reflect and look back at yourself, every step you are taking, your mind will tell you whether it is right, wrong, or improper. I think, I always say that the Rotary Club has got a beautiful motto saying that whether it is good, whether it is lawful, whether it is helping the community, these questions they ask themselves. And if it helps the community, if it is lawful, if it is ethical, if it is moral, you do that job. In the same way, your conscience will help you to understand as to what you are preparing or what you are planning to do, whether it is appropriate, whether it is fair, whether it is correct. These steps can be taken. That awareness will help you to move forward. Knowledge is never a waste. I remember the Bangalore University's motto is Arive Guru. It's an amazing statement because that awareness is the one which helps you to move forward in life. It's also Nahi Jnanayena Sadrusham. There is nothing like knowledge. So these are all the things which you should do will help you. As I told you, preparing early must be a measured event. I remember I used to go and sit in the assembly as a representative of the police department, and Mr. J.H. Patel used to be the chief minister. And one day he narrated a very interesting story. He said that a big landlord, he was talking to his wife at about 10 o'clock in the night. Tomorrow morning we must send our servant to Bangalore. So this servant overheard this part, and he said that I must impress my master, and he thought I must do something to impress him. So next day morning, when this landlord got up and he was calling for his servant, he was not to be found. And after 5 hours, he came back, and he said, "Where had you gone? You were talking that you will be sending me to Bangalore. I thought I'll go and come. Why did you go?" He didn't have any answer. That means that any action you take must be planned, must be well thought out. That's where your preparation becomes a meaningful effort. Life is full of opportunities. I'm sure that many youngsters who are in the age of about 14, 15, 16, 17, etc., they are just on the threshold of getting into university, and after that they will go into various professions depending upon what they want to be. Of course, life can be a bit cruel in the sense that life is always not fair. But at the same time, there is nothing prevents you from fighting your way to accomplish what you want to. It is important to understand as to what you want to is a subjective analysis. You must think as to what is that you would like to do. I think you will find that there are wonderful doctors, wonderful engineers, wonderful lawyers, wonderful judges, wonderful people in various professions. And I think in the last few years we have found so many new types of avocations coming. Whoever thought of marriage organizers about 50 years ago, now you have got companies which are organizing marriages, which are companies doing the function, companies which are performing various activities as an event manager. So new types of professions have come. It depends upon what you want to do. Though civil service is a good choice, I would like to say that it depends upon what you want to do. Suppose you want to become a lawyer, you want to become an engineer, you want to become a doctor, you want to become a computer specialist, or you want to become a software engineer. Depending upon what your mind says and what your capacity, you should look for it. Of course, civil service in India, there is a kind of a fascination for that, for very obvious reason that you are seeing them in focus. But there are hundreds of services which are available to you. Though I would say that civil services is good, I would like to say that any service, there is dignity of labor. Any job you do, whether you are a peon or whether you are a big boss or any such, each job has its own dignity. Each one of us has it is just like our human body. There are 206 bones in our body. There are 12 different organs, and there are five critical issues with our like heart, lungs, liver, brain, like that. So every part is important. So whatever profession you choose, it's definitely worthy of doing it. You should be focused on doing it. Of course, as I pointed out earlier, if you don't prepare yourself, you will become a mediocre person, which is not worthy of your own existence. If God has given you the capacity to think and understand, you should be able to sort of move forward to look at a high goal and see that it is accomplished. There are amazing range of choices for you. It depends upon what you would like to do. I mean, nowadays the children are gifted with ability to access information, and I think every child has got more or less the mobile phone, and he is able to see all kinds of channels and events that are taking place across the globe, and he is able to know what's happening around the world. Depending upon what you want, you should look for that. In science, art, humanities, literature, sports, culture, the opportunities are endless. But all of them call for dedication. That is one thing. There is no area of human life where you can afford to be negligent. You can afford to be reckless. You can afford to be careless. You have to be focused on what you are doing. Choice of all civil services or choice of all services, all kinds of avocation calls for a unified, focused, and calculated step. Of course, coming to the subject of civil services, I would like to say in if you one thing that most of you can do is to access the UPSC website. This is one source which our students can easily do is to access the UPSC website. It's an amazing website. I remember this examination I wrote almost 53 years ago, and in those days we used to see only in newspapers, and we did our own effort. I mean, I could not join any training institution, but I still, God was with me. I managed to get through. But nowadays, you have got access to information. And one advantage with the looking at the website of the UPSC is that you will be knowing what are the different types of competitive examinations that are there. What are the different types of services that are there? Even the combined defense services, all India services, civil services, various central and paramilitary organizations, various other walks of life, including civil engineering, so many other things, including state public services of various states, including Karnataka. Each one of them give you an opportunity. But for each one of them, there is information available. Websites are able to tell you, and also you can also meet somebody who has already qualified in that particular activity and consult him for a few minutes. That will give you a kind of a lead. What you need is just a direction. Nobody can hold hands with you and make you walk the path. You only show a direction and you have to move. The entire responsibility for moving upwards is yourself. There are some people who say that I could not do this because my parents didn't allow me to do it, or I could not do this because there was some problem. I think those are all excuses, though there may be some genuine cases. 99% of the time, it is the individual will to succeed that helps you. Of course, coming to the civil services, I would like to say that it gives you a great role in nation building because you will be occupying important positions to see that you are able to be a part of the nation building. You can have diversity of opportunity. You can have a leadership role. You can have um, effort to move the constitutional values. You can get societal recognition. And also, there is a sense of job security, and that helps you to look at what the civil services can do in particular. I think, and as I mentioned to you, if you open the UPSC website, you will be able to see the calendar of the UPSC. You will be able to see the activities of the institution. You can see what are the forthcoming examinations. Various types of competitive examinations are there. Previous question papers are available. Cut-off marks are available. Answer keys are available. The model questions are at hand. Common mistakes are also listed in the website itself so that you become a bit conscious of understanding what is that you should do. Of course, instead of going into the way in which the examinations are committed in great detail, I would like to say that there are two phases for this examination. One is the, as I told you, you will be able to approach the examination, it is a two-phased examination. First is the qualifying or what is known as the preliminary examination, followed by the method to identify, and there are seven papers, each calling for some 250 marks. These are all easy, though I can narrate it in detail. It is quite easy for you to understand by looking at the website. I would like all the students to sort of look at various websites of various institutions to get to know how recruitment opportunities are available. As I told you, the primary objective is to find out as to what is it you would like to be in your life, and then try to look for various ways in which you can access that information and see that you prepare yourself. And it is important that you can move up only if you are fully capable and competent. There is a saying that I long years ago, Mr. C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, who was considered to be one of the top lawyers in Tamil Nadu, when he went to the court, some senior lawyer said, "Why are you coming to this legal profession? There is always overcrowded here." And they thought that this fellow will get dissuaded. But Ramaswamy here was a brilliant person. He said, "Yes, I know it is overcrowded, but there is always vacancy at the top." That means that if you excel, there is always a possibility that you will succeed. So that principle must inspire you. Keeping that in mind, you please get to know what is the method in which the examinations are held. If it is a civil service examination, you get to know what is the modus or mechanism of conducting this examination, how the papers are set up, how the marking is done, how the selections are done or rejections are done. So that will help you. And another wonderful thing about the civil services that it gives you four opportunities. I think most of the people get four opportunities. And there are some categories are there which get little more than that. But it is essential to understand that you try to succeed in the first attempt itself. That will help you. If not in the second attempt. That means I'm sure that you must have heard the story of Robert Bruce, who was the King of England, who was defeated and he was hiding in a cave. And he suddenly saw a spider coming down. And when it wanted to go up, it fell down because the thread could not hold it. And it made seven attempts, and on the eighth attempt, it succeeded. So Robert Bruce again rearranged his army and then won the battle to which made him the king. That meant to say that try and try again. That is what is to say. I mean, it ultimately depends upon how you prepare yourself. Ultimately, choosing the right type of subjects which suits your thinking, and what is necessary is that persistence. After studying some subject for 2 months, you may say that I could look at another subject. I think I would dissuade anybody from doing that kind of misadventure. Instead, you could plan yourself to see that you focus. Before selection, you apply your mind and then focus on that and master it. Once you get a mastery over the subject, it becomes easy. And then it's an effort. All said and done, uh, examination is telling that it's also relative. How others have performed will have a bearing on what you achieve. Keeping that in mind, you prepare yourself and go ahead with that. I think the KLE Society has made a beautiful run of programs on the PPTs to say how the examinations are there. Common to India, it's a competitive examination, and there are ways in which you can prepare yourself in minimum qualification of a degree insofar as the civil services are concerned. But there are for the combined defense services, even after PUC, you are eligible to compete for that because they will train you and give you a degree and make you an armed force officer. When this is these are all areas which can be easily comprehended by understanding what is the prescription made by the government or the organization. And keeping that in mind, you can plan and prepare yourself. Of course, I would request you to please go through the PowerPoint presentation which is made, which lists out various options available for the UPSC kind of examinations, and they are all self-evident. It is not necessary for anybody to tell you that, but you will be able to note and sort of comprehend. Um, so many opportunities are there, but you must be focused. Ultimately, I always say that depending upon what you want to accomplish in life, you have to model your focus, you have to model your goal, you have to model your purposeful effort. Of course, all these things are quite obvious, and as I mentioned to you, getting into the UPSC website is particularly, you may require about 1 or 2 hours to go through that. You do it 2 3 times, you will be able to know the entire game. The plus and minus of the whole thing is available on the website itself. And there are many other institutions, like so many other private players have come to tell Rao's tutorial, Byju's tutorial, so many other things are available. If you think that you would be advantageous, having an advantage, go ahead and do that. But what is important is mental. Your mental preparation to see that you succeed becomes the key to succeed. And you have load of information which makes you to be conscious of how you have to approach the effort and then pursue the goal. Right. Any other thing? Yeah, cover. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to respond to young minds who are participating in this webinar.
So these are the types of civil services which you can see on the slide which I have presented. Okay.
Yeah, so many are there.
This is the third type, Group B civil services. And sir will answer some of the questions. Okay. So you all can go ahead.
Oh, I think there is a question that says, I would like to join ISRO. Yes, this is a scientific organization which is somewhere near Sanjay Nagar. And of course, it's a national body. People are launching satellites into orbit, and people connected with this institution do that. Though I am not fully aware as to what is the mechanism to get into that, but I do know that they do advertise in the newspapers calling for willing persons to come and join that institution. I think minimum is information science and technology, and perhaps if you open the website of ISRO, there will be. I think nowadays the trend is every website has got opportunities available as to how a person can get into this institution and work your way. I think another person he wants to go to NASA. There are many Indians working in NASA. There also opportunities are available, but it calls for uh, a qualification enterprise that is necessary so that you are eligible to be considered. That you can do that. Shall we take UPSC examination? Yes, you can, but that is you must get. It depends upon the civil service. If you want to do that, you can. You have to become a graduate, and then I think normally the standards in the UPSC examination for civil services is in the region of a master's degree. So you must be conscious to what is the level of understanding that you need. After second PUC, what are the best options available for civil services? Yes, it requires a degree in any subject, and then I would request you to kindly browse through this UPSC website that will tell you how many options are available for you. Other than the compulsory subject, you need to know one more language, and then there are about 48 optional subjects which are there. Then subjects like general knowledge, general awareness, and professional subjects like in art, science, or literature, you can do that. And but with that, you can certainly look at how the opportunity to join these organizations. How can we join armed forces by writing exams? Yes, I think the National Defense Academy, Kadakwasla conducts a test, and for that UPSC conducts that Combined Defense Services exam test. And not only at the degree, at the after PUC level, but also postgraduate also are entitled to join through the armed forces, colleges, etc. And people join army to do medicine, then to do engineering. I mean, these are all ways in which one can look at opportunities to join the armed forces. Because I would also hold working in the armed forces is a great opportunity, is a wonderful thing, and perhaps you should be able to get. And I would say there's a simplest way in looking at these issues is whatever you are looking at as a choice, please access the websites. Even the armed forces have got their website. It clearly says how to join. And I think most of the Army, Navy, Air Force, they keep on telling people as to how to join. And they put out advertisements and put out leaflets and booklets that you can see. Yeah, one question that has come up is how to join Navy or Armed Forces. Advantages of NDE. Yes, it is. I myself was once a Navy commissioned officer, which I didn't continue. I joined the police service at that time. And the Indian Navy conducts regular tests for graduates to join their armed officers' ranks, and it is possible. It is something similar to the general tests that are done by the Army, Air Force, and Navy for getting people into their forces. And even after 12th standard, you can join the NDA and you can join the armed forces of your choice. Of course, it calls for physical fitness and so many other things like a test, etc., which you could definitely consider. Then one more question is, which exam is good to become IPS officer or IAS officer? Yes, is the same UPSC examination you can do. You can also join the state services, but it will take little more time to get into the IPS. It also depends upon the subjective satisfaction of the quality of work you do in your career. But I would like to say that all services are equally good. Of course, IAS gets a slightly different perspective in terms of their career, and IPS is more of a professional service as a police profession, whereas IAS is more of a generalist. And though they do have tremendous opportunities in life to be leaders, etc. How about major subject? Of course, I would like to say that if you open the website of the UPSC, you will find the list of subjects, major subjects which are there, and also a list of special subjects which you need to take. There are 48 choices for the subject, and you can choose. All the languages can be taken, and I think even Kannada for those who want to do Kannada, it is possible. At the prelims also, you can have one language, and at the subsequent specialization level also, you can have. And mind you, all these subjects are in the class of master's degree holders level. That means that you cannot be mere satisfied with your preparation to the graduate level, but you must go to reach the master's level so that you are able to answer questions that are posed in that. Taking Kannada is an advantage. Well, I don't think that there is any particular advantage. Only thing is, number of people writing Kannada language may not be high. But if you are able to do well, maybe yes, you could have an advantage. You could perhaps succeed in that. How to become a pilot? Yes, this is. There are two wings which have the uh, airborne crafts going up. One is in the Indian Air Force. Maybe you can become a person in the technical side or you person in the flying side. You can do that, and I think Indian Air Force also keeps. I think anybody who walks across the um, Manaksha Park, there is a service selection center south is there on the left hand side. There you will be able to get a lot of information to say as to how you can become eligible to join the Air Force. And there are separate categories. And if you are focused on becoming a pilot, you could do that. In addition to becoming a pilot in the Indian Air Force, there are several private training institutions which help you to become a pilot. The commercial pilots are there who run all the civil aircraft which we use for traveling across countries and across cities. That also you can be doing that. How is CLAT of NLS? Yes, this combined law appearance test is there. It is conducted by about 17 national law schools in India, and I was once connected with the National Law School Bangalore because I used to go there, and that CLAT is a pathway to take law as a profession, not necessarily as a lawyer. You can use it as a corporate advocate, or you can work as a person doing service to the humanity and service as private corporations, etc., you could do. But if you want to choose as an advocate, or if you want to choose as a law teacher, CLAT is a pathway to join the law school, and whatever marks you get in the PUC, you can perhaps approach the 5 year law course program which are available in Bangalore University, and I'm sure that there are at least in Karnataka, as I am aware, there are near 100 law colleges are there. You can join any of them for the 5 year law course or the 3 year law course after you become a graduate. Do you think tutorials play a role in UPSC? Yes, this is a very interesting question. Um, though one could say that you could pass without the tutorials, there are many who feel that it would help you to reduce your strain to understand what are the mechanics that guide this examination, what are the common types of approaches that can be pursued to succeed, etc. I think there are this UPSC tutorials are available across the country in at least 30, 40 major cities, and they are quite successful. And perhaps you could do it. Even if you join the tutorials, the amount of hard work by you doesn't get reduced. It boils down to what is your preparation in that, and how you prepare yourself will help. But I would say that these tutorials are, to a certain extent, some advantage can come out of that. Thank you. I don't know. How best we study for the UPSC? I think all these days we were telling you plan. As I told you, the correct way to prepare for civil service exam is to look at the UPSC website, digest the entire narration. It's quite an interesting website. I myself saw it few days back, and I was very much happy to know that practically all information is available on the website. Go through that. It will also give you the question papers. It will also give you the model answers. It will also give the common mistakes and so many other things that will help you to focus on that. And I also would like to say that please meet one or two civil servants who are in the police service or in the IAS or in the forest service or in any other service and get to know how did they plan, how did they achieve. So that would only be an indicator, but ultimately you have to work your way on that. Of course, there is a question very interesting. How do you start preparing for UPSC? When is the best time? First year, second year, or third year? I would like to say that in the first 2 or 3 years, any professional subject you will not be able to prepare because you need the background. But there are subjects like improving your English, improving your Kannada or any other language, improving your general knowledge, improving your reasoning capacity, what is known as the mathematics related questions, etc. You can learn. So that will help you. And as you have finished the third year degree, then you can perhaps focus on the subjects of your choice for another 1 or 2 years. And by which time you are 21 or so. And that is the right time you can attempt. As you are all aware that there are 4 attempts available for every student, and maybe by the time he is 23 or 24, he would be able to sort of accomplish that goal. Any more questions, sir? IB exam for becoming IPS or IRS. Of course, there is intelligence bureau. I mean, if you mean it is the intelligence bureau, their intelligence bureau also conducts recruitment drives. They do that. Even CBI, IB, Enforcement Directorate, and so many other organizations do conduct entrance tests, and that's available. Only thing is you must identify their website or consult somebody and get hold of that information and look for the categories by which they recruit people and make use of that. Yes, that may not necessarily be without UPSC exam, but normally UPSC is contracted by the Constitution to conduct tests on behalf of the civil services. So it is the civil service exam is slightly different because it is one of the exams conducted by the UPSC. There are so many other services which are listed under the UPSC website. I would request you to go through that and then do that. How to make a best choice if there are two or more fields of in front of me? Yes, this is a very interesting question. You need to look at it. What what you would be more comfortable with. Of course, when there are two choices before you, you may start getting doubt which is better for me. It's not a answer which anybody can give it off the cuff. It depends upon your own ability, your own understanding, your own capacity to reflect on the subject, and if it is a common type of subject, if it is an information oriented subject like history or sociology or civics, these are the subjects, most of them are information oriented. So, a mere reading is sufficient for you to know. It is not like mathematics or physics or any other subject where some technical issues become very critical, and unless you have the capacity to understand, it becomes difficult. Of course, there are many people who are known genius personalities who, without background, have solved highly technical questions, and they are exception. Normally, one would like to say that if there are two or three fields in front of you which interest you, please reflect on that more, going through some half a dozen question papers and find out which would be more suitable for you so that you are able to succeed. Any other questions, sir? Strategies addressed for UPSC interview. Yes, if you open the YouTube, you will get all types of funny videos as to what all questions they have asked and what kind of answers given and all that. I would like to say that it is more in the realm of a bit of added on subject, added on narration. Normally, in the interviews, what they expect is what kind of personality you exude, what kind of awareness levels you have, what is your value system. This becomes extremely critical for the interviewing board to understand as to what kind of person you are. And don't imagine that you give a very wise and highly witty reply and that the people will get impressed. I mean, these are all only in YouTube and maybe in some talks, etc. That may not be realistic. Be true to yourself. Be conscious of what your role is as a human being, because that is most important. You should succeed more as a human being. Succeeding in profession, whatever choose area you choose, that is not very critical. Being a human being is very important that you can do. Any message for youngsters who are confused? I think even the term confused is not really realistic, because students, if they reflect upon themselves as to what is that they would like to sort of do, or what is that they would like to sort of pursue as a career, it becomes easy. Yeah, sometimes you see your neighbor says that I am appearing for this exam, or some fellow says no, I am joining the army. I mean, and somebody says I am joining some software, I am joining some management company, like that. It may confuse you, but ultimately you have to lead your life. Nobody will lead the life for you. Your life has to be led only by you. So you choose that and you should be able to succeed. A sense of fairness, being ready, being clear is one thing that you can help yourself. I would wish all the youngsters all the best in life. May God bless you all with the choicest showers that He can give it to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving such a beautiful webinar. Okay, I'd like to call Shivan Gowda sir to give a word of thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾತ್ಮಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಮತ್ತು ಹಿತೈಷಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಇಳಿ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಮ್ಮ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಮಹತ್ವವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೇಳೆಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾತ್ಮಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯ ಕುರಿತು ವಿವರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇದು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೀಳಿಗೆಗೆ ಇದು ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ತಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ವೇಳೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಸಲಹೆ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ, KLE ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯವರು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ನೀಡಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಭಾಳ ಮುತುವರ್ಜಿ ವಹಿಸಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಂತರ ತಮ್ಮ ಮಹತ್ವದ ವೇಳೆಯನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿಗಳು, ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಮ್ಮ ವೇಳೆಯನ್ನು ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಯ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯವರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಶಿ ನಾನು 2 ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining to this session. And I'd like to thank Dr. Krishnamurthy sir for giving us such a wonderful webinar. And I thank my principal, both the principals, to scheduling this webinar. And there is a small information for you people. We'll be sending shortly the feedback form into your mail, so you all can go through that, fill up that form so that you will be getting in shortly the certificate of attending the webinar successfully. Okay, thank you everyone.